There's a good news story. Rick Steves sacrifices nest egg. You know who Rick Steves is? Yeah. So that guy is such a dude. So yeah, he's the guy who does the traveling videos about Europe and everything, and he shows you how to you can sleep in train stations and hostels, whatever. He's a Kremlin puppet. And so 20 years ago, I don't have time for this. We got to go. So 20 years ago, he devised a scheme where he could put his retirement savings not in a bank, but into cheap apartments that could house struggling neighbors. Isn't that something? So he said, I would retain my capital, my equity would grow as the apartment complex appreciated. Rather than collecting rent, my income would be the joy of housing other desperate people. He said, I found this as a creative, compassionate, and more enlightening way to invest while retaining my long-term security. The 24-unit apartment complex began housing single moms who were recovering from drug addiction and were ready to get custody of their children back. Imagine the joy of knowing that I could provide a simple 2-bedroom apartment for a mom and her kids as she fought to get her life back on track. Recently, Rick Steves took his personal affordable housing project one step further. He gave his 24-unit apartment complex to the YWCA. The group will now be able to plan for their future, knowing that the facility is theirs to keep. So that's a guy, a little fucked up, right? That's not what you do. Anybody, Jagoff knows what you do with your money is you put your money into a drug testing company and then you lobby your state senators to make poor people fucking take drug tests. That's what you do. That's how you get a return on your investment, Mr. Travel Fuck.
You know, on the surface, he may seem like a good guy, but I heard that he doesn't go to church.
So here's a little thing they did. A local news thing did a thing about him. Here we go.
We're talking about travel guru Rick Steves. He owns this apartment complex, but he's giving it away.
Everybody says if you consume more, you're happier. But that's not the mark of a very thoughtful person.
But yeah, well, maybe you're not going to enjoy the new flying car from Silicon Valley. That's a real thing, right? That makes you happy.
For more than 25 years, Rick Steves has hosted the most popular travel series on PBS.
All over Italy. Escape the heat and the crowds by sightseeing late in the day.
He's also earned a fortune with his best-selling
It's just funny, right? It is funny. You could save a fortune by sightseeing later in the day. And then you go to Italy and you sightsee later in the day and you're like, I dicked them.
European travel guides. But money, as they say, isn't everything, which is why we're meeting here.
When you walk down this sidewalk, what do you see?
I see mothers that have hope.
This is Trinity Place, a housing complex Rick has owned since 2005. Its residents are 24 struggling women and their kids who need the kind of services the YWCA provides.
I'm afraid some of these residents would be homeless.
Edmonds Rotary Noon Club keeps the property up.
They've reunited mothers and children. That's a big, big, big deal.
Yeah, it's been a godsend.
Yeah, I know it's been a godsend, but we're Americans. Isn't there a way we can fuck this up?
A year ago, Tamara was homeless, recovering from addiction, her kids in foster care.
It means being able to have my kids with me and be able to raise them and be a mom again and get my life back on track.
Moms have big hearts because love dominates their outlook and they've got kids in their laps. There's got to be a way to support them.
Rick figured the complex would make a great retirement nest egg. In the meantime, he could do a lot of good.
I get huge joy out of going to bed thinking, hey, I'm helping house 70 people that would be in cars or in motels or in people's basements scrounging around.
He'd always...
You know, ironically, in cars, motels, or in people's basements, that's the Department of Housing and Urban Development's new motto.
Planned to will Trinity Place to the YWCA, but the other day, Rick changed his mind. He's donating his nest egg, the complex, right now, while he's alive.
I don't think it's particularly, loving or saintly to house people. I just think it's enlightened. I want to get a return on my money.
Sometimes wealth can't be measured in dollars and cents.
Am I doing okay? I'm just doing my very best.
Rick's investment is in people, community, and he says it couldn't be more rewarding.
To think about when I found this place, it was just a moldy haunted house. That's what it was. It was a moldy haunted house. And I just thought, man, there's God in that mold.
Turns out I got a couple of bottles of God Killer in my basement. So that's some good news. I wanted to bring you some good news. That's Rick Steves doing some good news.
What's his angle?